Hello, Elise Keller here from Rise, Thrive, Soar and Rise Canna Coaching. We're all about empowered cannabis guidance for women with breast cancer. Our mission with this channel is to help you cut through the confusion, the overwhelm, and to use cannabis confidently and effectively during your healing journey and beyond. So I went through my own healing journey, my own breast cancer diagnosis. I was diagnosed at the age of 33, and cannabis was instrumental in my healing, from my physical side effects from treatment, as well as to heal emotional wounds, and whole integrated whole person health. I have nothing but great things to say about it, and I want to help you to be able to do the same. Now, I'm always updating content with the latest research and answering common questions that I get in the comments. So feel free to leave me any of your burning questions in the comments below, and I'll try my best to get to you. You may even be featured. I could do an episode about it if I get those kind of questions often enough. And as always, what I share with you is not intended to substitute for professional diagnosis or treatment, however you set that up with your primary care team. So let's get into today's topic, the endocannabinoid system. We'll talk about what it is, why it's so important, why it's crucial to know about, why it's important for your overall health, and what it has to do with cannabis, as well as what you can do to support your system without cannabis. And we're gonna try to do all of that in under 10 minutes. So the endocannabinoid system is a little known but massive receptor system responsible for maintaining balance, that's homeostasis, in the body. It consists of a network of neurotransmitters called endocannabinoids, receptor sites, the most common being the CB1 and CB2 receptors, and enzymes. Think of it kind of like the traffic lights of a city, helping to keep the traffic moving and the streets running smoothly. When the lights go out anywhere, it can cause confusion, congestion, delays. Cars and people will keep moving, but without the proper guidance, it's just not going to be, the flow is not going to be as smooth and as effective. So the endocannabinoid system has actually been dubbed our master system because of its role in maintaining balance among all the other systems of the body. And this is super important because all illnesses can essentially boil down to some sort of imbalance in the body, whether genetically induced or otherwise. Now, if you're just hearing about this system for the first time, you're probably wondering why on earth you haven't heard about it until now, but you're not alone. The endocannabinoid system was discovered when researchers were trying to answer the question of why cannabis works for so many different conditions. It turned out that compounds in the cannabis plant called cannabinoids, which is basically the plant-based version of the endocannabinoids that our bodies make, they happen to fit perfectly or near perfectly with the receptor sites of the endocannabinoid system. So used properly, this plant can help to tone, support, activate the endocannabinoid system when it's out of balance. So it's a pretty remarkable plant. So it's easy to say, wow, look how amazing it is that we have this plant. It's able to help this epic system that we have, right? But the truth is there's more that we can do beyond cannabis. And of course, I think that cannabis is really an important part of the journey, but to know that there are other things you can do to help to keep this master system maintaining balance, I think is a really important thing to know about. So to give you an example of the way cannabis works in all of this, think of it again, if we go back to that traffic system, cannabis is kind of like the friendly police officer that comes in to help direct traffic when the lights are out. The officer is really doing a good job in helping to keep the systems moving more smoothly, but we still need to figure out how to fix the broken light. So how do we fix the broken light, the endocannabinoid system, when it's out of balance? So one review study in particular looked at 325 other studies that all look at what helped and hindered the endocannabinoid system. The study that is called Care and Feeding of the Endocannabinoid System, and I'll post a link to it actually in the comment section. So basically, it learned that the endocannabinoid system is directly affected by exercise, pleasurable exercise, exercise that you enjoy doing. Your diet and certain supplements in particular, certain foods in particular, will help to activate and synthesize your body's own endocannabinoids, like omega-3 fatty acids, for example. We also know that alcohol is detrimental to the endocannabinoid system. Environmental exposures are another example. So pesticides, plastics, those can all interfere with the endocannabinoid system. And then there's also some other components that might be thought of as a little bit less physical, right? So diet, food, exercise, these are all things we know will help to keep our body healthy. But the other thing that affects the endocannabinoid system, which is interesting, are things that are more to do with, mind, body health. So stress reduction, chronic stress from pain, from financial stress, those sort of situations would be detrimental to the endocannabinoid system. Short-term stress, the endocannabinoid system can bounce back. So it's the extended long-term stress that we want to be aware of. So stress reduction then is really important. As well as your emotional state, your thoughts, and your belief. All of those things were shown to affect the endocannabinoid system. So there are things we can do, meditation, massage, going for a walk in nature, being more aware of our thoughts and emotions in general. So the reason that kind of matters, right, is that we often think about all the physical things we need to do when we're taking care of ourselves, but it's also important in the endocannabinoid system, which is our master system for maintaining health and balance, homeostasis among all the systems of our body. It requires more than just the diet and the exercise. And I think what this is pointing to is that it's really important for all of us to take all of the things seriously, not just the physical, but the mental and the emotional health is really important in endocannabinoid balance. So I hope you've learned a little something about the endocannabinoid system, why it matters. I'm going to be breaking down each of those individual I call them pillars, I guess. So the food that can help with the endocannabinoid system, that can downregulate, upregulate the endocannabinoid system, or what we know so far about it. We'll also be talking about emotional thought awareness techniques that you can use to help, again, to tone and regulate the endocannabinoid system. We'll be talking about movement and breathing, but for now, this was kind of just your primer so that you can understand a little bit more about the endocannabinoid system, why it integrates with cannabis and how it integrates with cannabis. And I hope you learned a little something about that, and what we can do for ourselves moving forward to help support this super important system. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, I know that's a lot to handle all at once, but we will be breaking all that down. If you have any questions in the meantime, put them in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe and like if you found this helpful. Share it with other breast cancer thrivers out there. Until next time, thanks a lot.